Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter here on FIFA 23. I hope I find you all well. We're of course back today with Chelsea, and we have some pretty big games in the domestic season coming up in today's video. Can see we've got some big games in the league to close out January, including Leicester, Newcastle and Liverpool, big games. And then beginning of February we will face Forest away and Aston Villa at home. But also you may have seen it here, the FA Cup fourth round has drawn us away at Old Trafford against Manchester United, which is a huge tie as they are probably our biggest competitors left in the competition. That will feature in today's video, but before all that, we've got Leicester at home and then Newcastle away at St James's. Let's get into it. Right then guys, straight into this one. Leicester at home. We played them quite early on in the season away at the King Power, and we dispatched of them relatively easy. I think it was 3-0 in the end, but we've got some big games coming up in this one. There's an early chance for Kai Havertz, who buries it. We are just ruthless, this Chelsea team. We do not give our opponents a minute to settle. Here's Kai Havertz again, has James on the overlap. Pedri at the back stick. Oh, what a finish from Pedri. He's popped up with quite a few goals from midfield this year. Enzo not quite so many, but between the two of them, they're doing something which Chelsea midfielders don't do in real life, and scoring goals. There's quite a few for the season now for Pedri, and well, this is the pick of the bunch. What a strike on his weaker left foot. So you guys seem to have been really enjoying this this part of the Glory Hunter since we've moved to England and taken over at Chelsea. So I'm glad that you guys have been dropping comments and showing loads of support. I really appreciate that. It does mean a lot to someone who has a very small channel. So thank you guys for all the support. If you have been enjoying them, please continue to smash the like and drop me a comment. I love seeing your guys' comments come through, and I respond to every single one. So if you have any questions about the save or anything at all, just drop me a comment and I will 100% respond to you all. Love you guys. Chance for the counter here. Oh, Leicester wide open at the back, and Reece James is away. It's Reece James and it's 3. It's definitely game over now if it wasn't already. Shocking defending from Leicester though. Serge Gnabry into Mavropanos, the former Arsenal defender, and into Moise Kean, who forces the save out of Aaron Ramsdale. First chance they've given us any sort of issues in this game. Corners floated in. Elise half cleared and off the line by Levi. Still not away. Moise Kean blocked behind for the corner. Late corner for Leicester as Ramsdale looks to hold on to the clean sheet. Has had to make a couple of saves in this one. He's there again. He's earned this clean sheet if he can see it out. Corner floated in again. Hall will clear at the near post. And that should just about do it. Not really anything to report in that second half. Really comfortable victory and the same scoreline as earlier on at the King Power. Really good result for the first game of the episode. On to the next one. It's Newcastle away at St James's Park. Right, we are at St James's Park, and it's a very rotated side for this one. Newcastle doing really well, currently sat in 6th place in the league. It's quite tight in the race for those European places at the moment, but Newcastle well and truly within a shout of finishing in a European place this year. As I mentioned, we have made quite a few changes for this one as we look to extend our pretty big lead at the top of the table, but we've got eyes on that big clash against Manchester United in the FA Cup in just a few days' time. Malo Gusto, chance to cross. Osimhen, didn't take him long. He didn't score against Leicester in the previous one, but his goal droughts don't normally last longer than a couple of games. Malo Gusto in for Reece James, the captain in this one. Brilliant cross to the back stick. Keeper probably should do better, but can't keep out Osimhen's header. Is now goal number 35 for the Nigerian, just in the league campaign this season. He has been incredible. 5 off the magical 40 that I've set for him as a target this year. Here we come forward over the halfway line with Malo Gusto. Now, Amari Hutchinson looking to combine with the French right back into the penalty area. Pulls it back to Osimhen. And the 2 chances that we have created in this game have both fallen to the right man. Victor Osimhen at the double. I was just about to say it's been a really tight game. Newcastle have had a lot of the ball without really doing anything with it. And we've been playing on the counter without really creating much. But as I mentioned, the 2 chances we have created have led to 2 goals, which give us the lead going into the break. Given away there straight from the kickoff. Boadu over Ramsdale. What a giveaway. Well, I'll be honest, I was kind of half-assed just passing the ball around the back, and as Boadu steals in, Koulibaly not got the pace, and Ramsdale, in trying to narrow the angle down, came off his line, and Boadu just went over the top of him. 2-1, Newcastle back in the game, but an absolute gift of a goal. A lot of space out wide. Is KWP and Elise, who's off the bench. At half-time, Michael Elise restores our 2-goal lead. Tactical masterclass bringing him on at the break. Within 7 minutes, he scored with his first real foray forward. Brilliant finish into that top corner. 3-1, and we have our 2-goal lead back. Boadu's away from Koulibaly again, and Myron could be in behind. Boadu, brilliant strike. Past the dive of Aaron Ramsdale, and Newcastle will just not lie down in this one. Second half has absolutely erupted. Boadu for the 2nd time away from Koulibaly, and with defenders closing in, takes it early but finds that top corner. Brilliant strike from Myron, and Newcastle back in the game once again. And here they come again. Boadu in behind this time, and Ramsdale has to bail us out. Carney's lost it though. Shot comes in again, which Rudiger blocks. Boadu, it's going to be 3-all. Boadu and Boadu both on the score sheet. And Newcastle back in the game at 3-3. What way is this game going to swing next? Great build-up from Newcastle, and they've completed the comeback. It's Javier Boadu once again. Him and Myron Boadu have been an absolute nuisance this evening at St James's. Brilliant build-up. Boadu with the back heel past Tony Rudiger, and Ramsdale can't keep it out. Newcastle, what a turnaround from the Geordies. All floated in. Oh, it's gone in again. It's game over now. I think it's Mohamed Simakan with the header. Loops over Ramsdale, and with 5 to play, Newcastle have completed it. What a game at St James's Park. Free header for Simakan. Really poor marking. And you know what? We've missed the boys at the back in this one. Colwill. Well, I think that will do it here at St James's. Fair play to Newcastle. What a turnaround. And what a comeback from Eddie Howe's men. As I mentioned, we have not tasted defeat very often, but Newcastle here were absolutely brilliant. Not the way I wanted to go into this huge cup game against Manchester United. What an individual performance from Myron Boadu. 2 goals and 3 assists involved in every single one of the goals for Newcastle. And as I mentioned, Kalidou Koulibaly just could not deal with this man up top today. The Dutch man trying to prove a point with me now the head coach of the national team, and what a performance from him. Right then guys, our attention switches to the FA Cup. This is arguably our biggest game of the season. It's our first real test in a knockout fixture, and I thought we played well in the first half against Newcastle in the previous game, but in the second half they just completely turned it on. We do generally start games better than we end them. So I'm looking for a strong start here against Manchester United. But we had a really tough game against them, both home and away in the league this year. and they are currently second, so our nearest competitors in the league. If we can get a win here, then I'd say we're in a really good position to progress quite far in the FA Cup. But obviously, if we lose, it's all over. Here's Kai Havertz down the right-hand side, up against Kieran Tierney. Into Osimhen, not afraid to shoot. Victor Osimhen off the top of the crossbar and out of play. This man had to start today. It may be the cup, but our top scorer and Europe's top goal scorer had to start this one off the crossbar early doors. And Rashford trying to get in behind Trent. This is where we had a lot of joy in the previous game against United. It's into Havertz, whose header is pushed up by De Gea and then cleared at the second attempt. That's a really good switch out to Kieran Tierney, and Reece James had tucked in. Now Pellegrini lets fly. And Robert Sanchez, who is in today as he is our cup keeper, pushes it behind for the corner. They've gone short to Trent. Now it's to the edge of the box and worked inside. A really good football from United, and Brobbey gives them the lead. Sanchez couldn't get anything on it. And another Dutch striker scoring against me. This time it's Brian Brobbey who gives United the lead. Oh, guys, now I'm starting to feel the pressure. We have never in the whole series been eliminated from a cup. Well, actually, that's not true. We have. We lost the Coppa Italia final, and I think we lost another along the way. As Rashford slips it through to Osimhen, through to Havertz, and brilliant defending by Kieran Tierney, who stayed switch on, and Enzo can't win the header. But yeah, we've never been knocked out of a cup when we've needed to win it, if that makes sense. We've won every cup competition that we've played in, as now Vieira's in behind Neil, who can't get back, and it's two. It's Brian Brobbey again, and we are in serious trouble here. Manchester United coming forward again. This time Reece James intercepts. And we've got men over here. It's Victor Osimhen. Enzo Fernandez, huge opportunity. Enzo has Rashford with him. Goes alone and buries it. Oh, that was pressure. That was pressure for Enzo. Trent was kind of marking the pass and Enzo went alone. And if he'd not scored, it would have been a huge opportunity squandered. We are back in this cup tie. Can we pull it back level at 2-2? Manchester United just slowing the pace of the game down. Brobbey in behind. Was he onside? He is. Oh, and Robert Sanchez has come out and not got there. It's a brilliant build-up from Manchester United, and Lorenzo Pellegrini finishes it. It's a brilliant team goal, and the passing was brilliant from the Red Devils there. In behind Neil, who kind of switches off. I'm not sure who it was who got in behind, but had the vision to get his head up and find Pellegrini. And just as we get back into it, United look to have killed it off. We've got an absolute mountain to climb here. And it's in behind Neil again. It's Vieira in behind to wrap it up. Brobbey with the hat-trick. It's 4. It's done. Manchester United heading to the quarters. And we are going to be dumped out of the FA Cup here. Shocking. Osimhen on the move. Victor Osimhen drags it wide. That's when you know it's not your day. With Osimhen missing chances like that, you know it is not your day. The refs put us out of our misery. But it's Manchester United progressing in the FA Cup. And that means that we're either going to have to stay at Chelsea for another year or come back to England later on in the save. Really, really disappointing evening for the Blues. Right, guys, this is an absolutely massive one. It's Liverpool at the Bridge, currently sat third in the Premier League. And after back-to-back defeats for the first time this season, and that FA Cup defeat at Old Trafford, we need to return to winning ways and stop the rot. Is Darwin Nunez. Pulled back, and Godfrey does well, but it's given away, and Liverpool with an absolute gift. Couldn't sort of feet out. And it's the former Chelsea loanee, Dennis Zakaria, who gives Liverpool the lead, and we just cannot catch a break at the moment. Godfrey intercepts and then loses out to Martin Ødegaard, and once again we fall behind here. Really not good enough from us over the last couple of games. Did really well in that Leicester game, started the episode off with that win, but since then we have just not been able to replicate the same sort of levels. A little bit of a squeeze on Liverpool there. Enzo round the corner to Elise. Pegged back to Victor Osimhen. Back on level terms. And that is a little bit more like it. A high press. Winning the ball back high up the pitch. And Elise is calm and composed to wait until the opportunity arrives to put it on a plate for Osimhen. 1-1. We need to get back to winning ways though. We need the 3 points here. Elise fouled in the corner, and the referee sent Thierry Correa off. I don't believe it. I cannot believe that he sent him off for that. That is a shocking decision from whoever the official is there. That is never a red card, not in a million years. Comes to Reece James and blocked behind for the corner. And with Liverpool down to 10 men, we really have no excuses not to win this now. Comes out to Rudiger on the edge. Now it's Michael Elise. Works the angle for the cross. Comes out to Pedri on the edge. Knocked down to Enzo. And put just wide of the mark. We're really starting to up the pressure now, though. Still got to be wary of Liverpool going the other way, though. They do still have dangerous players. There is the whistle. I can't believe that the referee has brandished the red card for that tackle. It was barely a yellow card, let alone a red, but second half we really have to push on and pick up the 3 points now that the Reds are down to 10. They have still got quality though, Liverpool, and they can still hurt us, so we need to be careful. And they've got possession in these sorts of areas. Shot comes in again, and Ramsdale has to turn it behind, and this is what I'm talking about. They do still pose a threat. But now with the break on, here's Enzo. Waiting for Osimhen on his right. Victor Osimhen from the Liverpool corner. Osimhen! Oh, it's off the woodwork. I don't believe it. In any other episode apart from this one, Victor Osimhen is burying that chance. Today, it's just not gone in. Enzo. Oh, brilliant switch to Reece. Great opportunity this. Osimhen at the back stick, and this time he does bury it. But the pass from Enzo was the one that made the goal. Reece James picks out Victor Osimhen at the back post. And we have our lead here at the bridge. Much more like it. Lots of space starting to open up now. As Liverpool look to try and get back into it. Enzo does brilliantly again. Lifts it into Havertz. Can he slide it into Victor Osimhen? He can. Onto his right peg. And again on the left. But Alisson spreads himself and manages to get the block in, but Liverpool really struggling to get players around Darwin Nunez. And now we come forward, Osimhen round the corner to Kai Havertz. Brahma's sort of shut the angle down, but it comes to Enzo on the edge, and Alisson had to tip it over. It's been a frantic game, this one. Havertz with the delivery into the middle, cleared away only as far as Pedri. Oh, what a strike! And it's off the woodwork from the Spaniard. This has been a crazy, crazy game. Pedri can't get it around the corner, and it's given away. And Nunez out to Zaniolo, into Nunez. Brilliant defending to win the header. And now we come away on the break. Bertrand. Osimhen, so much space for Havertz to seal the victory. Kai Havertz, it's done. 3-1, game over. And at one end, a brilliant piece of defending leads to the dagger up the other. Well, that seems like that will be that. And Liverpool were probably the better side in the first half, but the red card really changed things. And in the second, we pushed on and got the victory that we deserved. The red card definitely the turning point, and that may just rule Liverpool out of the title race going forward. We are definite favourites for the Premier League, and with the return of the Champions League on the horizon, we need to make sure that we keep our form up. Big win here at Stamford Bridge. Alright then guys, we're now at transfer deadline day. I'm actually not sure if we're going to do any business. I normally like to do a little bit of business on deadline day just because it's like exciting on deadline day, but I'm genuinely not too sure if anything's going to happen. So we'll sim through and see if we get any offers, but yeah, not sure if anyone's going to come in. I'll keep you updated if anything does change. Well, guys, in typical fashion, after saying I wasn't going to do any business, I've just gone all in. You can see the man who's come through the door there. Former Chelsea Youth Academy player Declan Rice has joined Chelsea, or should I say rejoined, after being here at a young age. And the reason that I've pulled the trigger on this one is because we got him for such a low fee. It cost just $43.5 million to bring Declan Rice back to the club. And that is because he was in the final year of his contract at West Ham. David Moyes didn't hold us to ransom for the 29-year-old, who stayed loyal throughout this save. I kind of didn't want to tear him away from West Ham, but for such a cheap fee, I couldn't really say no. And he's a midfield option that we don't really have. He's someone who can play a little bit deeper in the games. I feel like we needed that against United and perhaps even against Newcastle in that second half. Someone to sit a bit deeper and just sort of control the game, dictate the tempo. So Declan Rice, for, like I say, in my opinion, quite a cheap fee of $43.5 million is in on transfer deadline day. All right then, guys, that will do it for us. Just the one piece of business with Declan Rice coming in and nobody departing. We did have a few players on the loan list, but we didn't get any decent offers. They're all loan to buys, which I didn't really want to go ahead with. So Declan Rice, the only piece of business on transfer deadline day. All right then, guys, so here we are at the City ground. It's not actually the City ground as it wasn't added into the game when I started this career, but as you can see on the ball, Declan Rice does make his first start for the club today. Came in on transfer deadline day and we're throwing him in at the deep end, but I have faith in Declan. He's been playing in the Premier League his whole career, so I have faith that he can do a job for us. It's the kind of game that I said I wanted him, where he can just sit deep in front of the back four and also dictate the play as Forest come forward and lead within 7 minutes. Well, that plan really worked, didn't it? Here come Forest again, looking to extend on their lead. But Malo Gusto does well. Now Rice into Havertz. Lots of space out on the right for Reece James. Ball was a little bit behind him, but Osimhen can hold it up, send it round the corner to Pedri, who's in behind, and Pedri levels it up. The Spaniard has had an eye for goal this season. I'm not sure how many that is in the league for him, but he's really contributed going forward, which I love to see from one of the two midfielders. Here's Declan Rice bring it forward. Here's Reece James into the middle for Havertz, who can't miss. And we've turned the game on its head. And an understated part of Declan Rice's game on display there, bringing the ball forward. It's really, really kind of underrated. Everyone just thinks he plays as a 6, but he's really good at coming forward as well. Played the ball into Reece, whose cross finds Havertz. And despite Forest's red-hot start, we've turned the game on its head and now lead by 2-1. Ball through to Jimenez again. And just like that, Forest are back on level terms. It's going to be another crazy game, isn't it? Just like the previous ones that we saw at the beginning of the episode. Lewis O'Brien, ball through to Jimenez, and back on level terms instantly. Here's Rashford, seen nothing of him so far today. Into Kai Havertz, and straight from kickoff, we've now gone back into the lead. Rashford pokes it through to Kai, who gets his second of the game. And Chelsea lead again. What a topsy-turvy game at the City ground. Pedri, brilliant switch out to Reece James. Always an outlet on this right-hand side. James into the penalty area, pulls it back for Rashford, who finds the bottom corner. Oh, Rashford's won it again high up the pitch. It's Victor Osimhen. It's 5. Crazy game of football, this. Rice out to Malo Gusto. Through the gap to Rashford. Pulls it back for Victor Osimhen, who tucks it into the bottom corner for 6 again for Chelsea. Guys, I didn't realise, I've just seen it in the top left. That goal for Osimhen is actually his 40th now in the league season. We set him the target of reaching 40 and he's done it already. And that will do it, guys. I was a little bit nervous when we conceded early on, but we were ruthless in front of goal and managed to see out the victory. It's a big one against Forest, who are having a good season. Another 3 points on the board that moves us closer to that Premier League title. Right then, guys, so as we mentioned, we will see out the episode with a sim here against Aston Villa. We've not simmed many games recently, but as we always used to do, I will bring you the goals as and when they do go in. Here is a chance. Declan Rice. Square balls on to Ivan Toney, who's getting the start today. Rice with the assist and Ivan Toney with the goal. Great start. Here come Villa, though. Straight down the other end. It's a big save from Ramsdale, who gets a little bit unlucky. And Crepin Diatta equalises almost instantly. And Aston Villa look to counter from our corner and score. And it's Crepin Diatta again. Corner's kept alive and Villa in for a third, and they have a third. Gonzalo Guedes gets it. And I'm not sure if the sliders come into effect in these simmed games, but Villa have been brilliant today, considering they're languishing down in 15th place. And Villa hold on for the victory and are only the 3rd team to have beaten us in the league this year, although Liverpool did lose to Norwich. Everyone around us keeps losing anyway. But that is where we will end the episode, guys. You can see with 12 games remaining in the Premier League, we still have a 10-point gap over Manchester United, and our goal difference is significantly better as well. They, of course, did knock us out of the FA Cup earlier on in today's video, which is a real shame, as it does mean that we will need to either stay at Chelsea next year or come back to England after visiting France. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It kind of depends how I feel at the end of the season. But for now, that will do it, guys. Make sure to catch the next episode, as it will be a huge one with the Champions League last 16 tie. Both legs against Hoffenheim, and on these sliders, honestly, anything can happen. It's going to be crazy. We could do with winning the Champions League this year to tick it off. Will it happen? Well, our journey will continue in the next one. I hope to catch you for it very soon, and peace.